Well, thank you very much, Ken Workington. Not exactly the men of Playgirl, but close. Sam McKee along with Gary Wolff, who's our Director of Facilities and Trackman here at the Meadowlands. I should say was, because this is his last night. He's heading to Hoosier Park in Indiana. And Gary, you worked, let's see, Buffalo, Freehold, Garden State, Hoosier once before, Meadowlands, now back to Hoosier. You're just living the dream out there in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's really nice out there. I mean, I've really enjoyed my time here at Meadowlands, but the Midwest, there's just nothing like it.
Now, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a cowboy. Everybody wants to be a cowboy, an astronaut, what have you. I've never met anybody who wanted to be a track man. How in the world did you get into this business, and what was your connection with harness racing?
It's a great story. I was going to go to college in 1974 to be an engineer. My dad was in construction. A friend of mine worked at Buffalo Raceway. He said, hey, why don't you come work at Buffalo Raceway for the summer and then go to school in September? So I went to Buffalo Raceway in July, I believe, and I never left. I found something I truly loved. I started in the business under George Gregory. He's the grandfather of Jeff Gregory, and loved it ever since.
Well, if you learned how to work the track at Buffalo, you could do just about anything because they get more snow than any place in North America, it seems like. That would be a great learning experience for you.
Yeah, that's probably the only place in the world that it can snow 6 feet at a time, and the next day it's 50 degrees. So there's a lot of variables. It was a great learning experience, and it's really helped me.
What is the secret to a good racetrack? Is it the material that the track consists of?
I think if you can be consistent with any kind of material you have, as long as the horsemen know what they're getting on, what they're racing on, and they know it's going to be that way every night, I think it's helpful to them, and it works for us.
So a horseman knows how to shoe a horse. Like here at the Meadowlands, they don't tend to need as much borum, as much grip as like some of the tracks in the Midwest that race in the wintertime.
Yeah, the stone we use, it's a very hard stone, and it doesn't get dirty. Matter of fact, when it rains, it actually gets clean. You don't need a lot of grab on this. It's a very good surface to race on.
Now, it's too bad that Garden State didn't make it, because I heard when Garden State was built, it was one of the best tracks there was for horsemen. You were down there at the time, I believe.
Yeah, I went down there in 1992 and stayed there till about 2000. At that time, they bought Freehold, which moved me back up to Freehold, and then off to Indiana, Meadowlands, back to Indiana.
And Freehold has to be tough because of the daytime racing. I mean, you could be like 28 degrees in the morning and be up to 40 degrees by the afternoon. A lot of freezing, thawing, and back and forth. That has to be a very tough surface to maintain.
Yeah, well, that's what happened here with qualifiers this morning. If you watch the replays, we got a lot of frost last night, and we watered last night. And when you water at night, that water has to come back out during the day, and that happened during qualifiers. And later on in the qualifiers, the track got a little tacky.
Well, we'll blame your replacement, Ryan Naparella, for that, because you were officially off the clock this morning. You don't have to take credit for that. Gary, here at the Meadowlands, it seems like every spring, the first day it's really humid, this track is crazy fast. I mean, the humidity and the moisture content in the track seems to make a big difference with times and how it sets up.
Yeah, the only thing that really affects the track here is wind. We seem to have more wind here than anywhere. It's constantly blowing up the stretch or up the back stretch, and it's stopping them somewhere along the mile. But, yeah, moisture's everything. If the moisture's right, the miles will be right.
As a department head and as a director here at the Meadowlands, and I think everybody that's a director, I know it's the same thing for me with CCTV, you're only as good as the people that work for you. And here's a picture of you and your crew down in the winner's circle, and all these guys would work overtime for you and give their left arm for you, and they think the world of you. You've got one of the best crews, or had one of the best crews of the Meadowlands any trackman's ever had.
Yeah, you know what? They really bought into what I wanted to do here. They believe in what I taught them. I'm not one of those guys that holler and scream and point. I'd rather teach somebody, and then they learn something, and then I can trust them, and that trust really develops between the two of us. And you're right, they are the best.
Well, one thing a lot of people don't know about you, you also have a way with animals. Your nickname for us is the Ostrich Whisperer, because you always helped us with the ostrich races. Here you are talking to the birds, keeping them calm, and I guess you guys are like birds of a feather. You even reached out to pet one for just a minute there. That was always a lot of fun. Those things are crazy.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they're as dumb as a rake, too. They don't have a brain in their head. But I love animals. I don't care what it is, and they were just a lot of fun to be around.
Gary, what are you most proud of here at the Meadowlands that you've accomplished here?
Actually, just the opportunity to come here. I think if you're a trackman anywhere in the world, you want to come to the Meadowlands. This is where you want to be. This is where the best horses are, the best trainers, the best drivers. That's probably it.
And the guy who's filling your shoes here, your big shoes to replace, is Ryan Naparella. And you recommended that he come up here and interview with Jeff Garrell and Jason Settlemore. He was at White Birch, correct?
Yeah, I actually work with Ryan. I've known Ryan for probably 8 or 10 years. He's Charlie Sylvester's son, grandson. He's been in the business since the day he was born. He's a good guy. He's conscientious. I really trust him. I know he's going to do a good job.
Well, Gary, it's been fantastic. And I've got to say, I'm going to miss you personally. You're not only a great track man and a great person to work with, but a great friend as well. Best of luck to you and the family at Hoosier Park. And just working with you and getting to know you has been a great pleasure in life.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Gary Wolff, ladies and gentlemen, final night here at the Meadowlands before he heads to Hoosier Park. Best of luck from all of us at the Big M. We'll be back with more right after this.